Hello.
And this is our second day of being in beautiful Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Well, hi everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple,
Live free. Here in Pigeon Forge. It's another beautiful day here.
yes.
And it's our second day on this trip here in Pigeon Forge. Yesterday, of course, if you saw the last video, we went to the Biblical Times Dinner Theater. Now today we are going to something that's a brand new thing.
Yes.
And it sounds really interesting. We'll see what happens. It's called the Truth Traveler. And it is a Christian thing. And it's actually done by the same people. I think is it Ken Ham that actually
Oh
does
yeah,
it?
Ken Ham. It's the same people. Ken
that
Ham.
did the Noah's Ark
Yeah, the
encounter
Ark experience.
experience,
Yes.
and the Creation Science Museum in Kentucky.
Both of which, by the way, we cannot recommend highly
Yeah,
enough.
we've been to both of those.
They're fabulous.
So we don't know exactly what this is, but it's we know that it's virtual reality. You put goggles on, and it has something to do with the history of the Bible.
And also, we'll be we have the tickets also to go to the planetarium.
Right.
So it'll be this time traveler thing, and then planetarium. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
first we'll show you that we're grabbing some breakfast,
Yep.
and then let's get going.
And then we're off. We have a reservation for 11 a.m. for that thing.
Yep.
So we've got time to eat.
Oh yeah. Good morning. One of the things I've loved about this Keurig is that I've been able to find lots of, I use decaf, and I find lots of coffees that have different flavors, really easy to find, and they don't cost very much if I order them. And this is hazelnut. And boy, I got them at these little Keurigs, cook coffee, brew coffee. Nice and fast. Bill's already got his. He starts his very early in the morning. I think it was about 5:30 this morning. Shake around. What a wonderful start to the day. Oh yeah, these are looking good. Every time I have sausage, it reminds me of a scene in the Chronicles of Narnia in the silver chair where the kids get to have a late breakfast with the dwarves that live in this really neat cave, and they have these little sausages. They're just getting a little blackened around the edges and burst out of their skin. And the way that C.S. Lewis described it was so good. So I like sausage to be just a little dark around the edges. And of course you have to make sure it's cooked all the way through. These look gorgeous. I'm going to put some eggs in now. This little thing that goes on the sink is so useful. We could use that little butcher block top, but right now we also need to have access to the sink, so this works very well. All right, eggs. Beautiful. Sometimes I'll take mine out before I take Bill's out because I like mine softer than his. Okay, these are to a real soft, shiny stage, and I will dish mine up. There we go. Just a little bit, and then I get Bill's portion. That's it. That's good. And now I'll keep cooking the rest for a little bit longer for Bill.
Now, one of the things that we're concerned about in this camper is fire safety. We follow a travel channel called Travel Beans, and this is what happened to their camper van. So we have a regular fire extinguisher up in the front cab that we can use for, engine fires, that sort of thing. It works great if there's a big fire on the walls and the ceiling and all that kind of stuff. But for just a kitchen fire right here, if we're cooking and the grease catches on fire or something like that, we found something much better. That's this right here, the fire blanket. If there's a fire here in the kitchen, it's much easier. You just grab these tabs, pull them down, pull out the blanket, spread it out over the fire. Just hold it up in front of your face as you approach it to protect yourself, and spread it out, and it'll put the fire right out. Also, this is large enough that you can wrap it around yourself and keep yourself from burning yourself as you try to get out of a burning building. So for that reason, we have one here in our camper. We have one in the kitchen of each of our 2 houses, and we don't have this yet, but we're also going to be buying one for each bedroom in each house, so that if there's ever a fire, you can just pull that out, wrap that fire blanket around you, and get yourself out of a burning building safely. I think it's an amazing thing. I think it's an essential thing to have. So if you're interested in it, there's a link in the description down below. Check it out. So here we are at the Truth Traveler, which is our event for the day.
Yep.
We don't really know exactly what it is, except that it's supposed to be some kind of a virtual reality history of the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, apparently from what I saw, it starts like back with, like around creation.
Yeah.
And goes all the way through. And I think it's real VR.
Yeah.
So that sounds cool.
And then after that, there's also a planetarium.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to seeing this.
Yes, I'm excited.
So here's the Truth Traveler, and over here on this side is the time travel ride, and then over here on the other side is the planetarium. So let's go and see what this is all about. So that was pretty cool.
That was awesomely cool.
I've never seen anything quite like it.
Oh, me neither.
So when you first walk into the building, it looks like you're walking into an airport terminal.
Yes, yeah, it does.
The people behind the desk are all dressed like flight attendants, and then they have this board up on the wall that shows the departure times for all these different places. Appian Way, Messenia, Valley of Hinnom, Paddan Aram, Judea, Babel. So then they call you in, and it's actually set up like you're going into a spaceship that's going to be a time travel capsule.
Yes, yes. And you meet the inventor in this really cool room. It's a little bit like with the Jurassic Park thing where they took everybody around showing them stuff.
Yeah, the first Jurassic Park, when you go in there and it's in those rooms where they're explaining all about it with the cartoons and all that kind of stuff, if you remember that. That's what kind of the feel that it gave me. But he talked all about how he invented the time machine and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and they're holographs, so it's not like you're just looking at an animated thing. They're still kind of holographic type images, which is really cool. There's a little robot and all that kind of stuff.
That's better. Oh, I see. Next on my itinerary is to pilot your time capsule on your journey back in time. Sweet biscuits and cake. Fantastic. Currently, your capsule is being refueled. Well, since you're here, I bet you're curious about how all this came about. Well, it all started with one man. All this and everything I know and everything I'm designed to do is because of him. Speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for the one and only inventor!
All right, Pod. That's enough of that. Hello, everyone. I wasn't expecting company in my office today, but our travelers are always welcome.
So from there, we went kind of deeper into the building, and you end up going into a decontamination room. And so you get all these funny lights flashing and stuff because you're getting like decontaminated so that you don't take any germs into the past.
Yeah.
Once this process is complete, you will be nice and clean. And this this is going to lower us down to the flight deck, where our flight agents will be assigning you to a bay. Right this way, everyone. I think we have 12 exactly. So you guys are all going to be baymates, if that makes sense.
It was set up for, I think, 36 people. We were the first one in the morning on a Friday morning. There were only 12 of us there.
Yeah.
So, you know, the room was about half empty when we were there. But, yeah, and that little robot is your guide all the way through.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it was cool because once we were firmly decontaminated, all of a sudden the room just like felt like it just dropped. It became an elevator. The floor was like kind of bumbling up and down, and you could see something going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh past the windows. And
Yeah, it wasn't an elevator, but they told you it was, and they tried to make it feel like it was.
yeah. I mean, you watch everything going by the windows, and it feels like it's going boomity boom. And so then we finally got way deep down,
And you went into, they had a whole bunch of different gates, and each gate had a different, they called it a pod, a different spaceship that held 12 people. We just happened to have exactly 12.
yeah, we had 12. Yeah.
So we went into that pod, and we sat all around, and they gave us some flight instructions.
Yeah, and the whole thing's treated like you're really going to go somewhere.
Right.
And you have to really climb up onto these chairs. They were fairly comfortable, but you had to really climb up on them. And they actually brought, I was so appreciative. Bill mentioned that it
Because our
might
feet
be,
were dangling.
yeah, our feet were dangling. And my legs do not like it when they dangle. And so the guy went and got a little stool, and so my feet were sitting on a stool. So that was really cool.
But the chairs are up higher where your feet are dangling, because during the whole thing, the chairs are rocking back and forth and this way and going up
yeah,
and down.
moving all over the
moving
place.
with the virtual thing as it flies.
Yes, that was so cool. And they come by and help you very carefully to get your thingies on, the virtual reality
Yeah.
goggles things.
So here we are wearing these goggles, and it was like a 15 or 20 minute ride through. And I really wish I could have shown it to you, but it was in my goggles, and there was no way I could pull the goggles out and put the camera in there.
Right. We both just took our glasses off so that the goggles fit really nice and snug. I'm telling you, it was pretty spectacular.
It started in the Garden of Eden,
Oh, it was so,
and it went all the way through history, through Noah's flood and Tower of Babel and crucifixion.
well. And the thing of it is that you'd be going along, and when you went into the Garden of Eden, all of a sudden this fragrance just filled the room. It was beautiful. And you're just going past all these flowers and just different animals. And if you hit water, you could feel this cool air suddenly like hit you, and breezes would blow. You know, it was.
There was a river going down through the middle of the Garden of Eden. I don't know if it was a river, but it was a body of water. And we were actually flying right above it and flying like this. It almost, but not quite, almost felt a little motion sick as we were, because the seats were moving that way and what we were watching. And then he went into it close to a rock, and you felt the thing hit the rock. The chairs jolted.
And the guys there telling, that are talking, they're flying this thing, are like, hey, watch it. You got to be more careful.
And the other one says, oh, it'll buff out.
Yeah. So you feel everything. You can feel all the movements and the jouncing. And the thing of it is, when you actually have the virtual reality things on, you can see in every direction.
Everywhere you look, you can see it.
You can see stuff. So what you're doing as you move and what it looks like is very realistic. It was so funny to both of us to look down, and we no longer had a body.
Yeah, I looked down and my legs weren't there anymore.
And I looked over, and we didn't see each other, because we were side by side.
We were holding hands for part of it, and I looked over at her, and it was just a tree right there.
Right. Now, I've been in virtual reality before with my nephew, and I was on the deck of this Enterprise, and I actually had a body then. In fact, it was really skinny and a nice uniform. But no, this you were just immersed totally in the experience with this. And so, yeah, like you said, suddenly you're crashing into huge waves, and the ark comes like underneath, and you're skimming across the top of the ark. It was just,
Remember in the original Star Wars, at the very beginning, when all of a sudden the Star Cruiser or whatever it is,
That
the
big
big
one.
came right overhead and just kept going and going and going and going. It looked like that with the ark, except you were above it, and the ark just kept going underneath of you.
Right. You could see some of the little tiny windows on the top and a little bit of light. But you just, the immensity of that ark was just incredible. And of course, we've been to the Ark Experience, which is a real replica, and it is a massive thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just. We wouldn't want to spoil anything in case people get to see it, but it was just so beautiful. You're just lost in it, you know, and you can smell things and you feel breezes blowing, and sometimes it's mist coming on you and you're always moving, and so it's easy. I mean, I'm 69 years old, and I tell you what, I was able to suspend disbelief enough to really feel like I was there, even though I knew very well I was in a room with a bunch of people with these weird goggle things on my face. It was
And then after
incredible.
that, it was a different attraction. You have to pay for it separately, but it's in the same building, and it was the planetarium.
And it wasn't that expensive to add that to our
No.
to our
And
ticket.
we really liked the planetarium. We've been at planetariums before. We really like them, but this one was based on God's creation
Oh,
and showing
it's-
God's creation. And so instead of getting all of the evolutionary billions of years garbage, you know, it's talking about God's incredible creation and looking at it from that perspective. We both really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it just
You're in a recliner that reclines way back, so you're looking up.
and you just the staggering depth and spaces and distances that we really have out in the universe.
Bigger picture, the structure of the universe, or at least as much of it as we understand today. Just imagine what it might have been like to see all these galaxies come into existence at God's command. In the Bible, the creation of all of this is described with just one phrase. He made the stars also. Wow. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is in the book of Psalms. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have ordained, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you visit him? Well, let's head back home. I know, but it's time. We've traveled a long way. Now we'll show you just how far we are from home. From here, we'll start off traveling at an average of about 1 billion light years per second, and then slow way down to about the speed of a bullet as we get closer to the Earth. Starting speed at 306 million parsecs per second. Here we go! Why do you always gotta measure in parsecs? Ask your grandfather. Watch how the strings and voids of galaxies pretty much disappear. And now we're in the nearest several dozen galaxies called the local group. And here we are, now able to finally see the Milky Way. We're almost directly above our galaxy. And it's easier to see how the spiral arms are made up of billions of stars.
And I've heard scientists that were, you know, I mean, well, the guy that puts this together, basically kind of like produces and everything, I think is the same one that does the planetarium that's at the Creation Science Museum. But I know he's like a PhD astrophysicist. So these guys really know their science. But I remember hearing somebody say one time that in order to have this one sweet spot that we have in the entire cosmos, where we can have this life that we have on this planet, everything else had to be exactly where it is. And they don't find other places out there that look like they could possibly even have this kind of a situation. And so it just, you see the Earth, and then as you back up and back up and back up, this phenomenal, unbelievable amount of billions and trillions and trillions of miles and these huge stars. And he said, you know, this all came into being when, you know, God said, let there be stars in the sky to be light at night. And just, you know, size doesn't shake God up at all. He is perfectly able to handle. He's kind of outside of space and time, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
And then after we came out of there, they have a real nice gift shop, and they have a sweet shop, a place where you can buy some food. So we went and got some stuff there, and they have a big patio outside, and no tables or chairs or anything out there. We found one little place to sit on the inside. And I said to her, you need to put some tables out there. She said, we're working on it. And then all of a sudden I realized, this place just opened, right? She said, yeah. She said it just opened in June. That was about 6 months ago. No,
Oh no, goodness, this is
it
October.
was 4 months ago.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of brand
So
new.
it's brand new. It opened
Yeah.
in June of 2025. So
Yeah, it didn't cost that much, and I would experience that VR thing over and over and over. Oh my goodness.
so as far as I'm
Elephant
concerned, if
touring.
you're going to go to Pigeon Forge, this is a must see.
Yeah.
We
And for
highly
kids-
recommend it. For kids,
for
yes,
kids, oh.
absolutely.
My goodness, it would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
It'd be phenomenal for them. And so yeah, it was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
We did get out and then we went just grabbed just a bite of lunch.
So we're eating here at Shoney's, and I got a Philly cheesesteak with fries, and you got what?
I got a Philly cheesesteak and fries too, but I got the bunless version. It still looks wonderful.
Gluten free.
Yeah, and the fries are gluten free. So yeah, I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah. So then, I think I mentioned this before. In Branson, everything was sort of close together, and we just walked the strip.
Well, especially because we were camping right smack dab in the heart of the town.
But here in Pigeon Forge, everything's so much more spread out that we couldn't walk it. So we drove up and down the strip. Live alligators, sunglasses, souvenirs.
And we're not even in Florida. That's pretty cool. I hope I got that okay. It's hard to tell in the sunshine. Now we just go past so many cute little shops and all sorts of different things. Country candy.
There's cars up on the.
Oh yeah, that's got like 3 layers of those fun cars to drive. Buzzed Bull Creamery. That's interesting. I'm just suddenly seeing this bull just staggering around the field. Little Pigeon Express. There's a little train going around and around. There it is. Oh, cute.
And we didn't really go and do anything else. We're both exhausted. So here we are back at our campsite, just relaxing for the rest of the day. Some things that I noticed difference between Branson and Pigeon Forge, because I keep comparing the two. Both of them have a lot of the same events, big wax museums,
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, all of those kinds of things.
King Kong.
But maybe, and they both have the Stampede,
Dolly's, yeah.
Dollywood.
Dolly Parton's Stampede, which we
Stampede.
went to in Branson. It was great.
But it seems to me that Branson had more shows, like the Hay Goods that we like.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there are shows here that I don't know about. But
Yeah, that seemed to be more of like really a lot of different kinds of shows. And here, there's like a whole bunch of different really interesting
it felt
miniature golf
It felt
places.
more like an arcade, like the boardwalk on a beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, golf courses, miniature golf.
Yeah, miniature
A
golf.
lot of go-kart tracks, arcades,
Just a lot of fun.
things like that. But
Fun stuff.
smaller things. So it's just they're very similar, but they're also quite different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad we came. Like I said, especially that experience today.
Yeah.
Cannot recommend it enough.
So we've had a great day. It's late afternoon now. We'll be spending the night here. Tomorrow we leave to go the rest of the way to Florida. It's about 8.5 hours of driving time, which makes it like 10.5 hour total trip. And we don't like driving that far anymore, so we're going to do it in 2 days.
Yeah. No reason not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really glad we did this. And I'm also just kind of looking forward to getting down to Florida and being able to get situated down there and just take a deep breath, and start the Florida part of the year.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it has been awesome. It's been awesome.
winding Tennessee roads.
I just got gas for $2.49. That's the cheapest I've seen. Well, here's home for tonight.
Cool.
So it's Saturday evening and we are going to be staying tonight in the parking lot of the Mount Carmel Baptist Church in Douglasville, I think, Georgia, which is like a suburb of Atlanta. And we are back there, still waiting for instructions from the church of exactly where they want us to park.
Well, this very friendly church has, it was a very nice, quiet place to stay.
Yeah. We got here Saturday night. There was nobody here. Very quiet overnight. We slept well. This is actually a Harvest Host spot, and
We
we've
kind of
been
just discovered churches.
yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, we've been a member of Harvest Host for about 1.5 years, and we've never used it. So I really didn't understand quite what Harvest Host was when I signed up. I knew that it was businesses that you could stay, all over the country. They've got thousands of them, and they've got it all listed out on a map and all that, where you can find them and then request to stay there that night. But I didn't really completely understand that it's generally expected that you spend some money, spend at least $30 at their business. And a lot of them were like wineries and stuff like that, where we're certainly not going to spend $30 on wine because we don't drink.
We don't drink.
Also, I didn't realize there was a cost until after I joined, and then this recommended cost of at least $30. So you either buy something. Now, if you're going to go to there are a lot of places that are like a farm where they butcher meat and stuff like that, and you can buy $30 worth of beef. That would be good.
Oh yeah, there are some places that we could feel like we could spend money and be justified. We just can't buy bottles of wine.
Right. They also have places like museums, and I don't know what you're supposed to do with the museum maybe just a donation.
Oh sure.
But anyway, so we didn't really stay at any of them because none of them looked good to me. But then I was looking around on the Harvest Host map the other day and discovered this halfway between Pigeon Forge and Florida. Discovered this church. I didn't know they did churches. I thought this is really cool.
Yeah.
So they just recommend that you do a donation to the church, which I don't have a problem with doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So we came in here. It worked absolutely perfectly. So we're probably going to be looking for more Harvest Host things. See if they have more churches.
Sure.
And we can also do things like museums and other stuff like that, where we're not going to have to buy $30 worth of wine.
Right. We just would never drink. We'd be finding somebody to give it to.
Yeah. So now we're off. We got
Yes.
We got 1 day left to get to our house in Florida.
Yep. At this point, I've loved this trip home, but at this point, I will be glad to get there.
We're ready to be there.
Yeah. Well, I went and got the things for my porch that I always tuck away while we're gone in case of hurricanes. But now I want to make this look all homey again. There we go. This was my first thing that I ever got for a house we were hoping to get in Florida. Let me be careful. It's a tile. It's pretty sturdy. I just love it. There we go. And then I love the Mexican restaurant here in town. And I got this there. And they actually have never been able to put this little shop part of that restaurant back after the hurricane. So this really is special to me. That's looking more like it. Now I'm going to hang this back up right by the screen. Little dolphins and things. I got this in Destin, and I love it. I'm just going to put it right over here. I've had this inside, putting it back on the porch. Isn't that the most beautiful chime? Bill got that for me for a Christmas present one year, and it was actually from Destin also. So I'm going to hang these up too. Thank you, hon.
Yep.
I love hearing that out here on the porch. There we go. Now, things are looking a lot more normal on my porch.
Well, so here we are in Florida.
Yes.
For those of you who may have joined our channel over the summer, you haven't seen it. This is our Florida house,
Yes.
and we're glad to be here.
Yeah, oh, it was a wonderful, going to Pigeon Forge was a wonderful trip home. But it is now good just to be here.
Yeah.
Clear blue sky, absolutely gorgeous temperature today.
With the stop in Pigeon Forge, it took us 5 days to get here. So it's very good to be here. Now we will be here until April.
Yes.
Then
yes.
we head back to Virginia again.
Yeah. Bill says it's between like 15 to 20 degrees warmer here than ever is in Virginia. That's holding true right now.
Yeah, it's right now. It's about, the highs are around 60 degrees in Virginia in our home up there.
Down there.
Up there.
Up there. Yes, sorry. Yes.
And right now, the highs here are running in the low 80s. So it's very beautiful. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, it feels really nice.
So thanks for watching.
Live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Yes. We do love you guys, and we will see you soon.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.